Hey, everybody out there in leadership in educational technology and instructional design today. It'll just be me joining you today. Painfully, we learned something new about Zoom today, in that when you pass the hosting role over to somebody else, the recording stops on the previous host's machine, and the other host would have to start it again unless he knew that that happened. So that happened. I lost the recording for today. So I'm going to go quickly back over the slides and cover the key points that we talked about for you. Shouldn't take too long. So the quote of the day: leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. This week we talked really a lot about what is a connected educator and being a lifelong learner, and leadership and learning go hand in hand. So I thought it was a good quote for this week. We put the question out there to everybody: how would you define the connected educator? That is our focus of discussion today. The folks in the class gave a lot of good suggestions and thoughts on this. And there are a bunch in the discussion for this week. But the discussion this week asks the question, gives a big list of traits on what could mean and what could be a connected educator. And the discussion this week is: how would you define being a connected educator? Which of the identified skills there are you eagerly practicing, and which skills do you need work on? None of us are practicing all of those. It might be near impossible. But which ones do you feel like you have a good grasp on, and which a couple of skills that you need some help on? Please remember that your enhanced discussion post should be posted by Sunday night. Those enhanced discussion post options are, screencast a video of yourself, a presentation, a Prezi. There's a bunch of different examples there. We just want to give you guys some opportunity and some time to flex your technology muscles and build your toolkit, so that you have some experience and have some time to work on some of these other technology tools that are out there available to you. And again, make sure you put your initial post in by Sunday night, and then respond to two others by the end of the week, which is Wednesday night. This week, my section of the class did a great job with the discussion, but there were some people that got their initial post in but didn't reply to anybody else, and there were some people that just replied to others and didn't put in their post. Or just remember, the expectation each week is one original, initial, enhanced post, and then reply in a meaningful way to two other classmates that hopefully moves the discussion forward, asks a question, things like that. The assignment this week is we're going to take a look at the Future Ready Framework, Gear 1 on Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment. Here's a link to the slides, and there's links on the assignment as well to lead you to that. Also, along with each gear, each week is a self-assessment. When I took this class about 3 years ago, I found these self-assessments really, really useful to prepare me to write the assignment. It gives me a good idea of what I'm doing well and what I'm not, and being able to compare myself to my school and my department or my district or other things like that. So I would highly recommend checking out and taking a few minutes to go through those self-assessments and review the frameworks. And then again, in a no more than 2-page double-spaced paper, answer the following questions. There are 5 different elements there. I won't take the time to read them to you. I know you guys can read. But those are the areas that we want you to focus your paper on. There was a comment from one classmate that said it was hard to keep it to 2 pages. They wanted to write, she said 8 pages, and she had to do a lot of cutting. We're not lazy. We just want you to focus on those areas that are meaningful to you. So you don't have to write a paragraph or 2 on each one of these elements. If there's an area where you feel like your school, your district is doing really well, then maybe highlight that and say, hey, we've been working on this for 3 or 4 years because we're doing A, B, and C, and that's why I feel we're successful. Or pick an area or 2 where you're really struggling as a school or a district and say, hey, we really need to think about this, and maybe try to do A, B, or C. So you don't have to spend a whole lot of time on each one. Pick some that are meaningful and focus those 2 pages on those different elements. You may have noticed that in the rubric where it's expecting proper APA style, we're not going to require that you stick to that. This is a master's level course, but it's more, we want it to be useful to you. So what we do ask is if you do use a website as a reference or whatever, we'd like you to cite your sources. We feel that's a minimum expectation that's easy to get to. If you're using Google Docs to write your assignment, it's super easy to cite your source. So let me show you how to get that done. I'm going to undo what I did here when I show you. And so in my paper, and this is my actual paper from 3 years ago, where I talk about the curriculum instruction and assessment gear, but I refer back to the ISTE student standards, and I didn't footnote that. So an easy way to do that in Google Docs is to use the, under Tools, there's Explore, or it's this button that you may not have ever clicked on down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the Google Doc called Explore. And when I open that up, it opens up a little Google search sidebar where I can go out and search, but still stay inside of my document. So I'm going to quickly search for ISTE student standards. ISTE student standards or standards for students. And if I click on that, I'll get a little blurb on a couple different websites. I can also quickly search for images and use that as a way to get images into my document. But if I want to investigate and see if this is what I want to look at, I can click on that link and it'll pop that open in a new window. ISTE standards for students, these are the new ones. Empowered learner, digital citizen, I can click on those and look at the different indicators. And so this is the site that I want to use, and I want to cite it in proper APA format. So all I just need to do is close that tab. It brings me back here. And I'm going to put just my cursor where I want that footnote to be. And then when I hover over this entry, you'll see a little quote button that appears, and it appears on each one of these. But if I want to cite that page as a footnote, just click that, and wherever my cursor is, it'll put in a 1. And you're thinking, wow, that's a big deal. But if I scroll down to the end of that page, here's my footnote, ISTE Standard for Students, the website, when I accessed it, and that way I have cited my sources appropriately. So super easy to do. Feel free to show your kids this and encourage them to cite their sources when it's appropriate. And that's, again, using the Explore tool in Google Docs. Okay. And hopefully that's it. If you have questions about week 2 or anything that has happened so far in the class, I know we're only a week or so into it, but please make sure that you reach out to one of your instructors, or not one of them, to your instructor in your class. There's about 140 different people across the state taking this, so if you're not quite sure which one of the 5 of us is leading your class, here's an easy way to take a look. If you go into your course and click on the People tab, it'll bring up this list. And just scroll on down until you see someone with the role of teacher, and then that would be your instructor. So these are the teachers, or these are the people in my course. And so go into Canvas and you can find who is the instructor in your course and reach out to them via email or whatever with your questions. We're here to help. And then I'm just going to do a really fast overview of week 1, hopefully to help you guys. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. The course overview, again, we're doing weekly discussions. Each original post is going to be one of those enhanced posts, should be posted by Sunday night. We need at least 2 additional responses to other folks' initial posts by Wednesday night. And again, we do this because you get more from each other than you do from your instructors or and a lot of times from the content. We really do learn a lot from each other. We do expect you to have a copy of the text somehow. We kind of indicated maybe last week that there were PDFs. This is the only course in the series of these 3 courses for the EdTech endorsement where we don't have a copy of the course provided for you digitally. This link here will take you to Google Books, and the first 3 chapters are there for you to look at. I think it's 2.5 maybe the start of the 3rd chapter. So you can use that for the next couple of weeks until you get a copy of your book. You can order it here directly from the publisher. Amazon has both a paperback and an ebook version. I think the ebook is around $20. If you are in the SEDC region, in the Q's region as well, check your Sora Overdrive library. SEDC has 4 copies, first come, first serve, that you can use throughout the course. And if you're outside of our region, check with your local libraries and see if they have a copy of that Connected Educator that you could check out. Otherwise, if not, we'd like you to get a copy of it so that you can do the weekly readings and participate well in the weekly discussions. And if you have issues trying to get a hold of the book, let us know. We can work with you to see what we can do. Again, weeks 1 through 9, we're looking at the different aspects, the different gears of the Future Ready School framework. Week 10, you're going to be writing a memo to your superintendent. Week 11, you're going to be modifying a lesson plan to integrate technology into it. A new lesson, not one from a previous course that you've done here. And then week 12, you're going to be submitting your technology training plan. The weekly seminars, we meet every Thursday at 4 p.m. We will try to keep them short. Today will be even shorter because we don't have any other comments or things like that. Here's a link to the Zoom room. We'll meet there every week. You're not required to be here in person, but you are responsible for the contents of the recording of the seminar and the instructions that we give. So if we say something in the meeting, but it's not listed anywhere in Canvas, you're still responsible for it. So you need to make sure that you're watching the recordings as soon as after they're posted each week. They'll be posted to my YouTube channel. Here's a link to it right here. If you want to subscribe, I'm not looking for subscribers or anything like that, but you will be notified each week when I do put a new video in that playlist so that you can make sure that you get it as soon as possible. Otherwise, they will be posted here on the course homepage. I've got week 1's posted here. I'll put week 2 here, and then it'll also be posted on each weekly seminar page. So right here, we've got the slides for this week. The video will be there as well as soon as I can get it posted for you. So we were trying to make it easy for you to keep up on the weekly meetings. And again, keep in mind, this is a pass-fail course. You've got to do everything and do everything well. We don't want to be put in the position to fail you. We want this to be a great experience for you. So if you are struggling, let us know, and we'll work with you as much as we can. Every assignment is due every Wednesday, and I should change this by 11:59 p.m. Midnight is actually late. Everything opens up at midnight Thursday morning for each week in our course. We know that life happens. Let us know if you think you're going to be late for discussion or assignment. If things do come up, please try to prioritize participating in the discussions. Again, that it doesn't do much good to come into a discussion late when everyone has already moved on. So if at all possible, we'd like you to say to prioritize the discussions over the assignments if time is an issue for you. Check the comments. We will make comments on your submitted work, and we'll let you know if anything's missing and correct, if we need something else, if something's broken. Modules are locked 2 weeks out, so you can work ahead if you know you're going to be gone, going on vacation, spending some time away from work or from school. You can work ahead 2 weeks and then get caught up when you come back. And then at the end, the credit request module will open up when you've successfully completed everything in the class. And at that time, that's when you can send your paperwork into SUU to get credit for the course. And lastly, again, don't suffer in silence. We know, especially right now, with everything in flux in school, the real school year kind of ending. We know it's really crazy right now, so let us know if you're having any heartburn or issues or troubles trying to get things done. We're flexible, and we're more than willing to work with you, but please don't take advantage of that over a long period of time. We want you to stay current with the class and as best you can. So let us know if you have questions or run into problems or anything like that. Reach out to your instructor. And I won't say anything else because no one's here to ask any questions. So just let's have a great week. The path to success is forward. So let's move forward and have a great week, and good luck to everybody, and be well. Thanks so much.